Programming in C++, Unit 4, Inheritance. Topics are Inheritance, Type of Inheritance, Virtual Base Class. One of the most important concepts in C++ is inheritance. Inheritance is a process in which one object acquires all the properties and behaviors of its parent object automatically. This video is going to clear the concept about the inheritance, types of inheritance like single inheritance, multiple inheritance, hierarchical inheritance, multi-level inheritance, hybrid inheritance, and about virtual base class. Inheritance. So it is a process by which the object of one class derive or acquire the properties of the object for the another class. This mechanism of deriving a new class from an old class is called the inheritance. In inheritance, there are two types of class, base class and the derived class. Base class means a class whose properties are inherited by another class. That means the old or the first class, that is referred as a base class. From the base class, a class that is inherited the property from the base class, that new class is called the derived class or a subclass. Now see here, there are two classes. The first one is class A and the second one is class B. Now from class A, class B is going to take the property. And to take the property of class A to class B, this is called the inheritance. In this case, class A is called the base class and class B is called the derived class. See the example, real life example. Son takes the property from father. Father takes the property from grandfather. So grandfather is a base class. From that base class, this father class is going to derive. From father class, the son class is going to derive. So to take the property from the older one, that is called the inheritance. There are basically 5 types of inheritance: single inheritance, multiple, hierarchical, multi-level and hybrid. We are going to discuss it one by one. First, before going to discuss about the types of inheritance, how the specifiers are visible in inheritance. So if the base class member access specifier is a public, that means if it is derived with a specifier public, then the public of base class, that will be the public of the derived class, protected of base class will be the protected of derived class, and the private of the base class, that will be the private of for the derived class. Same way, if the base class is derived as a protected, then the public and protected of the base class, that will be the protected members of the derived class, and the private member of the base class, that will be the private for the derived class. And if the base class is derived as a private, then you are not able to access any members from the base class. First type, single inheritance. The inheritance in which a single base class and a single derived class is called a single inheritance. See here, see the example, class person. Inside this person class, two variables are declared, name and age. Now class student. Student is going to derive from the class person. So this person, this is a base class, and the student, this is a derived class. Okay. Now when the class student is going to derive from the person, so it looks like this. See here. After deriving student class from the person class, the members of person, the public members of person, that means name and age, they will be the public part of the student class. In the class student, name and age both are defined as a public. So this class is able to use the name and age variable from this person class. See here, this name and age are not defined over here in this class student, but it is derived from the class person. Okay, so here there is a concept of the inheritance. This is a base class, this is a derived class, and this is a single inheritance. Second, multiple inheritance. When the class is derived from the two or more than two base class, then it is called a multiple inheritance. Here, class A is derived from the two class B and class C. See here, in a class A, here few members are defined, class B, few members are defined. Here class C, it is derived from the class A and class B. That means it is derived from the two base class. And when class is derived from the multiple base class, then it is differentiate with the comma operator. Okay. Before the name of class A, you can put the specifier public, private or protected. Any specifier you can put. Same way, before the class B, you can put public, private or protected, any specifier. But in general, we are going to use a public specifier to derive a new class from an old class. Here, this class C is able to access the data from class A and class B. Third type, it is a hierarchical inheritance. In this hierarchical inheritance, there is a single base class and two or more than two derived class or the child class. See the example. Here there is a class A and these are the members of class A. Next is a class B. It is defined, class B, it is derived from class A. It may be derived with a public, private or protected specifier. Same way, the third class C, it is also derived from class A with any specifier. Okay. So here, from this base class A, we are going to derive the two derived class B as well as class C. Okay. And when there is a single base class and multiple derived class, then this concept is called hierarchical inheritance, single base class and multiple derived class. Now the next type is multi-level inheritance. In the multi-level inheritance, from one base class, one class is going to derive, from that class another class is going to derive. This channel, it is continue for 3 or more than 3 times. Okay. The number of level are not specified. In this case, the last and the new latest class, that is known as a derived class, and the upper class are known as a first base class, second base class. See the example. Class A. Inside that there are members of class A. Class B, it is going to derive from class A. Class C, it is going to derive from class B. Okay. So, from class A, class B is derived. From class B, class C is derived. So, this class C is called the derived class. Class B, that is a first base class. Class A, that is a oldest base class. Next is hybrid inheritance. In the hybrid inheritance, it is a combination of any type of inheritance out of these previous 4. Okay. See here, from class A, class B and class C is going to derive. This is the concept of hierarchical inheritance. From two class B and class C, class D is going to derive. It is a concept of multiple inheritance. This is a concept of multiple inheritance. So here in this diagram, two concepts are joined. Hierarchical inheritance and multiple inheritance. So the combination of any two types of inheritance out of these four, it is called the hybrid inheritance. Class A. Inside it there is a one variable defined, integer A. Class B is derived from class A and class B have its own variable B. So class B is able to use B and A both. Class C. It is also derived from a class A. So class C is able to access its own variable C as well as A. And class D, it is derived from the two classes B and C. So this class D is able to access all the variables D, C, B and A. So this is the example of hybrid inheritance. Virtual base class. Now see here, this is an example of hybrid inheritance. Here there is a one class A, two class B and class C that is derived from the class A. That means this is an example of hierarchical inheritance. Class B from class B and class C. The next class is going to derive class C. So this is an example of multiple inheritance. So here there is a combination of two types of inheritance, hierarchical and multiple, and that's why this is known as the hybrid inheritance. Okay. Now see here, inside class A there is a one variable defined A. Inside class B, one variable defined B. So this class is able to access the B as well as A. Okay. Class C has its own variable C. Class C is able to access the two variables C and A both. Okay. So A is inherited two times in class B as well as in class C. Now in class D, it has a, when class D is going to inherited from these two class B and class C, at that time it have a two copies of A. Class D, once again class D have a two copies of A. One A that comes from class B and the one A that comes from class C, and the variable B and the variable C. But for variable B and variable C there is no confusion. But from the two copies of A, which copy it is going to access? So now class D have some problem that which A I have to access. I have a two copy of A. So to solve this problem, to solve the same variable multiple access of the same variable multiple times, here there is a concept of the virtual base class. So at that time, if we make this class as a virtual, class B and class C as a virtual, okay, then the copy of A is directly come from the class A. Okay, and the single copy from class A is going to generated and directly come to the class D. Now how to make any class as a base class? See the example. Class A, inside it A variable is going to declare. Class B is going to derive from class A publicly, but put the virtual keyword before public A. That means that A is defined as a virtual. Same way, when you are going to derive class C, at that time define A as a virtual, and class D is going to access, class D is derived from the public B and public C. Okay. Now when this both class B and class C both have a virtual copy of class A, then class A is called the virtual base class. Thank you.